After Cafe, where ideas take shape, thoughts find out, and every conversation explores the art of thinking beyond the obvious. And today I have my special guest. She's a licensed professional counselor and, of course, a children's book author, trained in ADMR and play therapy, passionate about bringing connection and compassion into our relationships with ourselves and others. None other than Jenny Hornby. Welcome, Miss Jenny on
Welcome.
Abstract Essay. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to. I have been working as a counselor for about, goodness, 15 years or so. And I really
Yes.
got into working with children. Been my focus. And so, working with children, I also work with their parents and their families. And what I love about working with kids is when you work with a child, it needs to be fun, right? They need to be engaged. They're not just going to sit and talk about it and intellectualize it usually. So I'm
Hmm.
on the floor a lot. I'm with toys, I'm with stuffed animals and puppets. So it's really interactive, and that's something I love.
Yes, interactive indeed. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Jenny. Thank you. So today, let's talk about your new published children's book made for this. So,
Yes.
what is all
So
about?
it is about a little otter. His name is Ozzy. And in this story, otters have to learn how to float on their back before their first birthday. And it's getting close to Ozzy's first birthday, and he's really nervous because he wants to stay with his mom. He doesn't want to have to sleep on his back behind her, beside her. And he has to face these fears that he's going to fail, or he might drown, or he's separated from his mom. And it's all about how to kind of meet with your fear and comfort it, but also recognize that you were made to do these hard things. And so you have what you need, and you can kind of let yourself trust that process as you're learning and growing. And it's a really neat story. I based it on interactions I had with my son when he was a lot younger, and he was really scared, and kind of how we worked through it. And we made it into a story during COVID, actually, because we were all bored and locked down in our houses.
Yes. So, Miss Jenny, tell us the most common misconception people have about the idea of being made for something. How does your book challenge the one true calling myth?
Mm. Yeah, I think it really challenges the idea that when a child is upset, that we have to help them feel better right away. A lot of times parents unknowingly try to like sweep the emotions away, like, you're fine, you're fine. I mean, that seems fine to say, but for a child, they really need whatever emotion they're having to be acknowledged. So even just to say you're scared, naming it for the child really helps. And so that's a huge thing, is just teaching a child that it's okay to feel afraid or to be angry or sad, and that it will pass. You don't have to sweep it away or push it away or ignore it, but you can notice that it's there, bring comfort, maybe bring more accurate information. Sometimes our emotions aren't always the most up to date, right? Um, so it's really helping parents and kids feel more comfortable talking about what's going on the inside.
Yes, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
tell to
right,
your
exactly.
children.
It's okay to not be okay. Yeah, and that doesn't mean you're a failure or you're bad or something's wrong with you. It's just an
Yes.
emotion that's with you.
Is discovering of what you're made for is a process of uncovering something innate, or
Mhm.
is it about consciously choosing and constructing a purpose?
Ooh. Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, I think there's truth in both those statements. I kind of think
Yes.
of one as like pressing the gas and one as pressing the brake,
Hmm.
that we have purpose. I believe that we were created with purpose. So that's part of just our DNA, that we have this gifting in us and calling in us. But then there is a partnership there in terms of how we focus our mind, how we respond, the choices we make. So I think it's both. Does that answer your question?
Yes, indeed. It's
Okay.
both, Miss
Did I get it
Jenny.
right?
Yes, definitely. And how do you reconcile the concept of being made for this with the very real experience of self doubt, imposter syndrome, and
Yes,
future for
sure.
the everyone faces?
Yes, absolutely. And that is very real. I like that you said that, Daniel. Um, I think the best way I've heard it described is thinking about our distress as a toddler in the car with us or on the bus with us. You know, so they're part of our journey, but we're not going to let them drive the bus or drive the car. But we're also not going to stick them in the trunk, or hang them off the back.
Yeah,
So it's
yes.
giving them a place where they can be with us and we can attend to them, but not giving them full authority as like, okay, this is what I'm going to do this, because I feel this way. There's got to be
Yes.
some guiding wisdom that leads you forward.
Yes, definitely. And let's talk about the key signals or whispers people often ignore that could point
Ooh,
them
yes.
toward they truly made for.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love the idea of whispers and paying attention.
Yes.
I think pay attention to what gets you passionate, what gets you excited, even what gets you angry. That can really reveal what your purpose is. I remember when I was trying to decide between going into counseling or not. And one of the activities I did was, what are things that you get really fired up about? What are things that really bother you? And then what are the needs around you? And then where do those intersect? And that really helped me in terms of just finding my own sense of purpose and what I'm made for. And then also kind of asking people who are in relationship with you, what do they notice about you? I think sometimes we think, oh, everybody loves playing with kids, or everybody loves writing songs, or everybody likes interviewing like you do.
Yes.
Right? But not everybody does. And
Yes.
recognizing there's a uniqueness that you have that maybe you've taken it for granted.
Definitely. Sometimes we take it for granted for those talent and we procrastinate.
Oh, right. For sure. Yeah.
So, can you share a personal story of time you felt profoundly out of alignment? How this experience ultimately
Mm,
clarified what you made for?
mm, out of alignment. Well, I worked in a corporate setting for a few years, where I did a lot of administrative work. And it was so challenging for me because it needed a lot of like detail orientation, and it wasn't very interpersonal with people, and I had to wear a suit. So it was just like, wow, this is not fit. And part of what I learned in that process was, I knew that I wanted to work with kids and I wanted to help hurting people, but I was filing these papers and I had this kind of question kind of drop into my heart that said, if you want to be good at caring for people, first be good at caring for these details, for this file that you have in your hand right now. Make sure that it's complete, make sure it goes where it goes, and be faithful with that. And then you'll be trusted with more as you grow and build on that. So that helped give me a sense of purpose in what I was doing, even though I didn't like it. It helped give me a purpose that it was going to lead me more to where I wanted to be.
Yes. Be faithful. Be
Yes.
faithful,
Right.
people.
Nothing's going to get wasted. If you can really try to lean into whatever the struggle is, you'll find things that are going to teach you and give you kind of gold nuggets.
Golden nuggets. For someone feeling utterly lost, what is
Mm,
practical first exercise of your book that made start identifying this?
yes. Okay. So I would start with your body. Physically, where are you feeling lost? You know, is it in your mind? Your mind's kind of swooshing around. Is it in your heart, like your chest? Is it in your stomach, like a pit? So kind of find it in your body first, and then kind of imagine it as like a shape or a color. Give it some sort of visual picture, and then meet with it. Kind of come alongside of it. And kind of with that, like you said in the very beginning, with a sense of compassion and curiosity, kind of sit with
Yes.
that visual and watch it change as you just bring your awareness and your presence with your breath, maybe you touch put your hand there, as you're kind of seeing it and noticing it. Just being kind towards yourself does a lot.
Yes. Be kind. Give grace to yourself, people.
Right.
So, how does the idea intersect with our various roles? Like, can we made for a combination of things?
Mm, for sure. I think so, don't you?
Yes, probably. Yes.
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
think there's different seasons too, you know?
Mm,
Um, I really feel called to working with kids and with children that are hurting and their families. But getting into this book has opened up other doors for me, working with other authors and that world. But it still kind of ties into a purpose that I feel called to. So I like to kind of test things when I'm thinking about how I'm using my time. Does it line up with what
yes.
I really feel called to? But yeah, I think that there can be changes and as you get older or you learn new things or you just have new kind of revelations about yourself.
Yes. A revelation. I like that.
Yeah, right, and just being flexible. Yeah, I think when we get rigid, we're typically in a dysregulated state, We might feel a sense of like, I think sometimes we feel lost because we feel like, "Oh, it has to be this way," and it's not going this way. So letting things go and letting yourself be a little more flexible and in more of a flow can really help kind of open up to what opportunities are happening and might be around you.
Yes. Definitely. And Miss Jenny, what are your short term and long term goals as an author?
My short-term goals are my second book is about anger. So my goal is by Valentine's Day to have that all ready to send to the publisher and to get that started. And then my long-term goals is I want to write another book on sadness and then on happiness. And I want to then have a last one that kind of ties it all together. So those are my goals in terms of with the children's books and things like that.
Yes, definitely. Good luck to your goals, Miss Jenny.
Thanks, Daniel.
I'm looking forward for more books like this to come.
Thank you.
What would be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be an author like you?
Oh, do it for sure. Have fun. I, Something I learned that I didn't recognize is as an author now, you have to have a platform. So you need to have a website. You need to have like maybe an email group where you're sending out communication. Our publisher told us, a successful author is an engaged author. And so you don't just write a book and then send it and you're done. Really engaging people is a huge part of being an author. So you got to like people.
Mm, yes,
Don't
definitely.
go hide, in a cabin in the woods. Oh,
Just do it. Don't hide.
For sure. Yeah, get
Yeah.
out there. Yep.
And stop procrastinating.
Yes.
And thank you for that advice, Miss Jenny. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Ooh, books that influenced me.
Yes, please.
Um, One that really helped me with working with kids was Playful Solutions to Serious Problems. And that probably is for more people who are in the therapy world, but it really freed me in terms of working with kids that it's okay if it's playful. They might be dealing with something silly or serious, sorry, like death or illness or trauma, but that it's okay that the solution for them is a playful solution. And that you kind of have to let there be space for that with kids. Just as much as you have to let them be upset, you also have to let them be kids as they're processing these hard things. So playful solutions to serious problems is really good. Um, what other ones? You know what? I love the Velveteen Rabbit.
Yes.
I love the story of just becoming real and that it requires us to be raw, and not necessarily beautiful and attractive, but really loved. So I love that story a lot. And The Giving Tree, I like that one.
Yes, and thank you for that recommended books. Miss Jenny, on the book's impact and broader view, how has writing this book changed or deepened your own understanding of being made for this?
It's funny. The words come back and smack me sometimes because I'll be struggling or frustrated, and the words come back of, oh, but you were made for this. It's okay. Just
Yes.
keep going, keep showing up. Uh, Sometimes the road doesn't come to you, step out, and you get out there. So trusting that you have what it takes and that the people will come. In writing this book, it felt so vulnerable, kind of putting my words out there and my ideas out there. But as I've done it, each step, I've felt more support, more encouragement. So you can't necessarily base taking that step on what you have right this second, because as you take the step, things come that you need. So it's kind of a leap of faith in a way.
Yes, indeed. I'm
Trusting.
made. Yes, I'm made for this to
I'm made for
empower.
this. Yes.
Yes, I'm made for this to empower people all over the world through all my podcasts. Why not? If a reader takes away just one fundamental truth or tool from your book, what do you hope it will be?
Mm. I think the main fundamental truth is for adults that if you're with a child who's upset, is to first kind of check in with yourself before you go to help that kid. Just pausing is what I would say. Slow down. You don't have to be perfectly calm yourself, but kind of know where you're at, know what's happening so that you can meet the kid where they are. Um, and I think so many times as adults, we kind of rush in to fix things for our kids. And I had a child tell me at work the other day, she said, my mom wanted to fix it, and I just wanted her to understand. And that really resonated with me. I think kids want to feel understood in what they're going through. They don't necessarily need us to fix it.
Yes, definitely. And so, how does embracing these concepts change the way we view our work, our contributions, and our
Mm.
legacy to the world?
Yeah, that's so true. Did you ever read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl? Did you ever read that one?
Yes, that's my first episode on
No.
my first season. Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes. I loved his book, writing from the perspective of surviving a concentration camp and seeing
Yes.
who are the people who survived and who are the people who didn't. And it was the people who had a sense of meaning and purpose in what they were going through, something that they were living for, and that's really what I think we need, especially nowadays. It's tough times. So,
Yes. It's tough time. A
Mhm.
logotherapy,
Yeah.
something that you need to embody. So, Miss Jenny, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting
Yeah.
you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, my other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in third season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101 love letters, movie 101, music 101 are in fourth season, science 101, sex 101, second season of my baby podcast, law 101, mental health 101, and Bible verses 101. Please listen to
Mm.
them wherever you listen your podcast. And coming this December, Entrepreneur 101. So, Miss Jenny, in a culture that often values hustle and achievement,
Mm.
how does living a life where you feel made for this lead to a
Mm.
different kind?
Ooh, that's so good, Daniel. You have such good questions. I
Thank
think
you.
there is a slowing down that happens, right? Because I don't have to prove that I have value based on what I do. If I know that I'm made for this, that I have a purpose and that things will like if I put a tree in the ground and I water it and I put it in the sun, it's going to grow, right? I can step back and let it grow and develop. I just need to provide good soil and kind of take care of it. So there's a nice rhythm to trusting that there's meaning and purpose in what we're doing and who we are, that I don't have to strive. So that's what I would say about that.
Yes,
You
so
like that?
empowering, Miss
Yeah.
Johnny. Truly, truly something else. And thank you so much
Oh,
for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world through Made for This. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your book, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
yes. I would love it if people visit my site. It's missjennybooks.com. So MSJENNY books.com. And on my site, I'll have updates and everything. So people can watch videos, get coloring pages for their kids, and updates.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Jenny
Yes.
because you support her for sure. More and more empowering made for this will
Mm.
come. So, Miss Jenny, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon.